All right, everybody, we are back again. It's Best Boys, a film podcast, and we're back with a bonus episode. I think it's the first one of these we've talked about doing them before, but it's the first one we've ever followed through with. Yeah, I'm back again, and I'm joined by my brother and co-host Corey with the story, and we are going to go through the Oscar nominees, since I believe it is this weekend. It's a Sunday, the 27th. So I'm going to try to get this uploaded. We're recording this on the night of the 24th. So I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow, Friday. And at least if you didn't get a chance to hear it, you'll at least know that it's out there. It's in stone what we thought. So place your bets, But this is not advice. This is not gambling advice. Corey, do you have anything to say before we begin?
Thank Poop Dog. Just want to say it's been a great night out here. All the talents looking phenomenal. Lovely dresses, outfits. Real great, stellar time on the red carpet. Really excited to be here.
All right. Well, yeah, it's looking great on the carpet, and we're gonna get into the nominees.
I like to think that we're broadcasters.
Yeah, we're correspondents. Yeah, just
yeah,
hold a microphone,
doing the color commentary of the whole thing.
Take my mic out of my stand and just hold it. But all right. So we did not select the order. We just went on the Oscar website, and we're just gonna start from the top. And it starts with actor in a leading role. So before we begin, I just wanted to ask a question. Do you think that it is archaic that actor and actress are even separate categories? Because it's not like there's no like any advantage to having a certain gender.
I mean, in one way, it's more people get to win.
I think that's why it's cool. I don't know how you could maybe you have one overall best actor, and then you still have like a gendered categories.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would be cool, and forward thinking, and especially, but yeah. I just want to start with that. Let's just throw out that hot take. Actor in a leading role.
When it's all old white guys that have been on the Academy board for since ancient times,
since film
asking
began.
a lot.
Since film began.
So all right, but
actor in a leading role. First we have Javier Bardem with being in The Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch with Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield, Tick Tick Boom, Will Smith, King Richard, and Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth. So right off the bat, I did not see being The Ricardos. And I did end up seeing Tick Tick Boom, and that was really...
How was it?
It's good. It's really good. It's fun. And Andrew Garfield is kind of, hamming it up and doing his thing. It is, it's a musical, so it's that. But the music and the choreography is really good. I kind of half watched it while I worked, but yeah, it's cool. But I don't know if I'm giving him the best dog. Who's your best dog?
I am Denzel, Will Smith, and Benedict Cumberbatch are so neck and neck for me, and I've been struggling with this.
I think Denzel is on. I think Denzel was really fucking good in Tragedy of Macbeth.
So good.
I could be fine with that. And Benedict Cumberbatch, I might have to go with because of just how nuanced his performance was. How it's I thought it sucked. I thought it sucked, and then it was like, whoa, you just blew my mind, bro. And I think that maybe that's gonna get it for me. But I would be totally fine with. Honestly, I would be even. Will Smith is underrated in that role. He really nails Richard Williams. So I would be fine with that too. And Andrew Garfield is definitely is at the height of his powers in Tick Tick Boom. But I'm gonna go with Benedict Cumberbatch for my personal pick. My prediction, I think I'm gonna go with Denzel Washington.
Interesting.
I don't know. I think maybe that might be wrong, but I'm gonna go with it.
My personal pick is Denzel, but my most likely I was either gonna say Will Smith or Benedict.
You gotta go with one.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Will Smith. I feel like they're gonna say he needs one. It's been a while.
Wow.
Um,
So Will Smith's your prediction.
I think so.
Oh wow. I think that would be wild. I think that would be upset, I would say. I think
Yeah, I
Denzel
wouldn't be surprised if Power of the Dog got it.
I think Power of the Dog is the likely. Oh no. Yeah, that's what I said. I said
You
Benedict
said,
Cumberbatch was my pick and Denzel Washington
yeah,
was the likely. Okay. All
yeah.
right, I'm going to stick to that. Though I think it could easily be the other way, too. So
Any of
Corey
those three, I
is
wouldn't be
Will
surprised.
Smith and Cumberbatch.
Denzel is my personal pick,
Denzel's your
and Will Smith
personal.
is my likely.
Cumberbatch and Denzel. Okay. All right, moving on. Actor in a supporting role. And the nominees are Ciarán Hinds in Belfast, Troy Kotsur in Coda, Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos, Cody Smith McPhee in The Power of the Dog. Crazy, The Power of the Dog got two.
Yes.
So honestly, just get it out of the way. I think Cody Smith McPhee is my obvious choice, but I think Troy Kotsur is also is like neck and neck. But I think that
Yeah, I had the exact same thing.
but I also think Ciarán Hinds in Belfast is excellent. He's definitely my
Mhm.
favorite performance in Belfast. He's the one that made me cry in that movie.
Yeah.
And so those three are my top three. I'm gonna go with I think it's gonna be Cody Smith McPhee, and my personal pick is Cody Smith McPhee.
Interesting. I think I think it's gonna be Cody Smith McPhee as well, but my personal pick is Troy Kotsur.
Wow,
It was just it was so good.
I wonder what Riss would have. I should have asked her on some of these. Because I think those would have been her two picks as well, and it would have been which is between them. All right, okay. Actress in a leading role. We got
I only saw one of these.
Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart, Spencer. I actually have not seen a single one of these movies.
Interesting. I saw Spencer, and Spencer was wild and not what I expected. Um, but it's a trip, that's for sure. So having said that, my pick is Kristen Stewart because that's the only thing I've seen. But yeah, I've heard The Eyes of Tammy Faye was good. Then Jessica Chastain specifically was good in it.
I don't know. I don't even know who I would predict, honestly, because these are like I didn't know Being the Ricardos was that big of a hit. I didn't know that Eyes of Tammy Faye was that big of a hit. My prediction, I guess, I'm gonna go with Jessica Chastain. I think.
Yeah,
That's my prediction, but I off of not seeing any of these movies.
gut feeling.
So you're going. Your
When
prediction is Kristen Stewart too.
that's my personal pick is Kristen Stewart because I actually saw it.
Well, what's
But yeah, I'll go with my most likely.
I
It
just
was
like
really good.
critics didn't like Spencer. I feel like that's my only reason why I wouldn't predict her.
I mean,
Um,
she's the best part of it. It's just a weird movie.
that's what I
Uh,
heard. That I heard that exact same thing. From someone other than you. I think it was Your Movie
but she
Sucks or
did a great
something.
job. It was very refreshing seeing her in something that wasn't like her, like the Twilight like archetype that she plays in like a lot of things.
All right.
Um,
Moving on. Actress in a supporting role. We have Jessie Buckley in The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose in West Side Story, Judi Dench in Belfast, Kirsten Dunst in The Power of the Dog, and Anjani Ellis, King Richard. And I believe, is that the mom?
yes, that's Richard's wife.
Man, she was really good. Honestly,
Mhm.
she was like the other force in that movie. Like her
Yeah,
and Will Smith kind of carried that. I hate to say, not hate to say, but I don't think I'm gonna. My personal pick though, I think Let me just say, Judi Dench was also fantastic in Belfast.
Mhm.
Ariana DeBose, I believe, is that the lead? That's Maria,
No, that's the
or is
no,
that
no, it's a
Anita?
supporting role, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
Anita.
Anita. Okay, she was probably
Fantastic.
the best of the, um, probably honestly one of the best actors in the whole movie.
Mhm.
So I mean I
Fantastic.
wouldn't hate that, but I think my personal pick is Kirsten Dunst, Power of the Dog.
Interesting.
I think that
Interesting.
I think that it's a really good kind of a role for her, and I don't think it was like anything crazy. But I think I don't know. I think it was cool for her as an actress to see her in a role like that, and now that she's older and in these kind of positions, I don't know. I liked it a lot. But I would also be fine with um John. God, I need to figure out how to say that. On John
Miss
Away.
Ella.
Yeah, I think on John Away Ellis is what I'm gonna say, and I would be fine with her too. So I'm gonna predict. Shit. I'm going with Kirsten Dunst, and I think I hate that I'm. It's really hard to not predict a Power of the Dog sweep, um, because I think that it could easily go that way.
Wow.
But I'm gonna pick on John Away Ellis as my prediction. Um,
Interesting. That's close to what I had. I had Anjanaway Ellis is my personal pick, but Ariana DeBose I put as my likely pick.
wow, Ariana DeBose. Wow, no
I mean,
Kirsten
her
Dunst
and
though.
Anjanaway are both newcomers, but I think having like the dancing and the singing and the acting all in one, like might be a more of a more of a nod, maybe. I don't know, but they're both fantastic. Either one, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be happy with either one of them winning.
Ingenue Ellis.
Really anyone on this list.
Ingenue Ellis is how it's pronounced.
Interesting.
Ingenue, I'm sorry, is how her first name is pronounced.
Gotcha, like the lens.
Um, so yeah, you make me want to change. And honestly, just no hate to Judi Dench because she was. I really loved how her performance and her part in Belfast. It's just that movie just didn't really stick with me. Like Power of the Dog and even King Richard, I think is better. But I know some people didn't like King Richard. But I think it's underrated. Maybe it's because playing sports that we have just more of appreciation for sports
Mm-hmm.
films. Um, but
I
yeah,
see it.
all right, we can move on. We can move on. I just want to reiterate again because I think I've already forgot. On John Way Ellis is my prediction. And Kirsten Dunst. Actually, I'm gonna change it. I'm Kirsten Dunst's prediction and pick.
Wow.
I'm going spicy.
Interesting.
I think they're gonna give her that comeback Oscar.
Man, full
uh,
sweep.
all right, animated feature
Oh,
film. Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Ryan the Last Dragon. I did not see a single one of these. We wanted to see Luca, we wanted to see Flea, and we wanted to see Encanto. And I'm not familiar with the other two, but yeah. Anything you got to say about this?
I saw half of Luca, and it was cute. But from what I've heard from just people I know and online, Encanto was like the best Pixar movie they'd seen. Uh, so maybe,
Yeah, my
or
predictions
oh no, I'm thinking
Encanto.
of yeah. I might no, yeah, it's Encanto. I might be thinking of Coco, but yeah, it's Encanto.
Flea is it's not like it's not a kids movie. It's like an more indie style movie. They preview played for it before I saw French Dispatch. It looked really good, and I wanted to see it. It's on Hulu, I think, right now, so maybe I'll try to check that out. But yeah, my predictions in Encanto. Cinematography. Nominees: Dune, Greg Fraser, Nightmare Alley, Dan Lawson, The Power of the Dog, Ari Wegner, The Tragedy Macbeth, Bruno Del Bonnell, West Side Story, Janice Kaminsky.
This was a tough one, I think. I think
I
this is
think
an
there's a lot of good
extremely tough net one.
choices.
Yeah.
I think I'm going with Power of the Dog.
Really? Wow.
I mean, I think that's my prediction at least because I think I don't know. I just feel I think I got good juju about Power of the Dog with Ari Wegner because I think she did a really good job. I think in just how beautiful the landscapes are and like the big open scenes, but then more the intimate stuff and just I don't know the color. It looks really good. Well, I don't know. What are your picks?
So at first I was like, Greg Fraser. I mean, he did the Batman, which I thought looked fantastic, and Dune is so good, like cinematography wise as well. But my personal pick is Tragedy of Macbeth. Was obsessed with the look of that film for like a
Yeah, it
month
does.
after
I
watching
do
it.
like the way that film looks, but
It's so like you don't. It's a stage, but it's not. They did such a good job of doing that. Like it feels so like empty but lived in at the same time. And it's really great job to like immerse you into the play.
so that's your
Um,
pick
that's my personal pick is Tragedy Macbeth, but my likely
prediction.
pick honestly is gonna be I think Dune.
Predictions Dune. I think that I could see that. I could see that. I could see it. All right, let's move on. Costume design. Cruella, Jenny Beavan, Cyrano, Massimo Cantini Perini, and Jacqueline Duran. Dune, Jacqueline West and Robert Morgan. Nightmare Alley, Louise Sequeira. West Side Story, Paul Tazewell. Um, so I didn't see all these. I've seen Doom, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story. I'm gonna honestly go with I could go with Dune or Nightmare Alley. I think I'm gonna honestly go with. I think I'm going with Dune. I think Dune will get likely, and I'm gonna pick Nightmare Alley actually personally.
Gotcha. I want to give it to Dune, but just because I like the costuming of the original one better, uh, I want to say Nightmare Alley for my personal pick, and I think West Side Story for the likely.
Wow, West
Uh,
Side Story for the likely.
I feel like it's an easy it's that's one of those movies that like lands this kind of category easily because of how many different kinds of costumes and things go into it and all the characters and because there's so many background and dancing and all that stuff.
All right, directing. This is one of the we're getting to the big boys. Oh, this is one of the big boys. Belfast, Kenneth Branagh. Drive My Car, Ryusuke Hamaguchi. Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson. The Power of the Dog, Jane Campion. West Side Story, Steven Spielberg. My pick and prediction is Jane Campion.
Yeah, my pick and prediction is Jane Campion, but I will say that if not Jane Campion, it'll be
Ryusuke
Ryusuke
Hamaguchi. I
Hamaguchi.
agree. That's my 1A. I think even if I like even I can tell the directing in that film is fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
I wanted to ask you, how have you been feeling about it since it's been a bit since
I
you
definitely
watched it?
like it more, but I think maybe I'd have to watch it again. And maybe now that I kind of know what I'm getting into this time,
Yeah.
and just kind of living in the vibe more, because the movie definitely has a vibe, and even though it's dry,
Mhm.
it's very peaceful and calm, and you're kind of drifting. Um, it's really interesting, and it has like slice of life anime vibes
Mhm.
a lot, and I think and that's only because I have so few things to compare it to. I think that's what we mentioned before last
Yeah.
episode. um but that's what kind of what I like about it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention on the last episode, that the movie felt like if you took all of the silent, quiet parts of Ava and put them together into one like continuous thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I guess I could see that. I could see that.
the
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of style and a lot to
mm,
appreciate. It's
yeah, it's
just
just been stuck
it's
in
a
my head.
lot. Yeah, I can see that. All right,
Like yeah, it's a grower.
to grow. Yeah,
Yes.
grower not a shower. For sure. Um, but all right, documentary feature. Ascension. I'm not gonna read through all these names. Attica, Flea, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, and Writing with Fire. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know anything about any of this.
Same.
I know Flea. I didn't realize Flea was also a documentary. I thought it was a or maybe it's a different Flea. But yeah, I'm not even gonna take a crack at that because I'm not familiar with any of them. I see Questlove though, so maybe Summer of Soul has something to do with him, apparently. But that's about all I got. Documentary short subject. I also don't know any of these. Are you familiar with any of these you want to talk about?
No, I didn't see any of these.
Okay, I'll just read through them real quick. Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 Songs for Benazir, and When We Were Bullies. Okay, film editing. Don't Look Up, Hank Corwin, Dune, Joe Walker, King Richard, Pamela Martin, The Power of the Dog, Peter Skiveras, and Tick Tick Boom, Myron Kirstein and Andrew Weisblum.
You want to use for mine, or do you want me to do mine?
Yeah, you can go first.
All right, so
I can tell you what shouldn't even be nominated for this.
Oh yeah, Don't Look Up. I don't understand
terribly
how it got
edited. Terribly. It should. Oh my god, it should be so much
terrible
shorter.
movie.
Terrible movie. Not terrible movie. Not that terrible, but just not Oscar worthy.
Yeah. Compared to everything else, it's dog shit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Power of the Dog shit.
Oh man, but I'm.
That's what, if we have funny name titles for things, that's what we would title this: Power of the Dog shit.
I was stuck between Dune and King Richard for editing, but personal pick, I'm just gonna go with Dune, and most likely I'm gonna say Power of the Dog.
I'm gonna predict Dune and pick Dune. I think that knowing how much they took out and how it still was very coherent, and I think much more coherent to follow than the original, and I think giving the right space to things. I think people will reward Dune for nailing the one thing that the original one just fucked up so bad. Was the edit. All right. International feature film. Drive My Car, Japan. Flea, Denmark. The Hand of God, Italy. Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom, Bhutan. The Worst Person in the World, Norway. I'm familiar. So obviously, I've only seen Drive My Car, and obviously, I've talked about Flea several times. And Worst Person in the World, I am familiar with. I believe. Let me double check. No, it's not what I thought it was. But I've heard that it is good. But I'm gonna say Drive My Car and predict Drive My Car.
I am also going to say that, as I have not seen anything else.
All right, makeup and hairstyling. Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci.
It's a me, Gucci.
It's me, Gucci.
Oh god! Ever since he said he sounded like Super Mario Brothers, I can't get it out of my head.
I read that in an article that someone described him as that before the movie came out. It's part of the reasons why I was excited to see the film, and so
I can't believe I didn't know.
That movie is such a disappointment.
Yeah,
but
at least it's a laugh.
Makeup and hairstyling was all right. Not better than Dune. I'm gonna pick Dune because it's one of two of these that I've seen. I'm gonna predict Dune. Dune.
Interesting. I'm gonna personal pick Dune, and I'm gonna predict Just Throw to Bone, House of Gucci. They'll find a way.
No fucking way. We'll just get one.
I could just see. I feel like I could just
the
see
bone
it
was
being
thrown by
things.
being nominated. I think
the bone. That's true. Yeah, I get. It's probably gonna be Dune though. Yeah, I'll double down on Dune.
Double down Dune.
Yeah.
All right,
double down on Dune.
Music, original score. Don't Look Up. Nicholas Bertel. What the fuck is a Don't Look Up? Yeah, didn't even notice it. Dune, Hans Zimmer. Encanto, Germaine Franco. Parallel Mothers, Alberto Iglesias. And The Power of the Dog, Johnny Greenwood. And I hate, or not hate, but I am definitely going with Power of the Dog, and I think I'm predicting Power of the Dog.
Yeah, people who had
That
said Hans Zimmer's Dune score was his best work, I thought were insane. I thought it was just good,
I thought
but
it was good,
not.
but I didn't think. Yeah, I didn't really
And
like
yeah,
stick in my head.
nothing as epic as what he's done in the past.
Power of the Dog
But
was a cool sound for a western. And yeah, Johnny
yeah,
Greenwood
it just
I
felt
think is
so
up there
eerie.
with Trent Reznor as one of the best like score crossover people.
Is he from
He's
what's it called, Radiohead?
Radiohead, yeah.
Yeah, as I say, it's him and Trent are the two I know that do a lot of the movie scores.
Danny Elfman is from a band as well, Boingo Boingo in the '80s.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
we've talked about that
I
on
did,
one of these
yes, we
episodes.
did. You got to bring him up. He did it
The
first, the Elfman. All right, so wait, what did you say? Did you agree with me?
Yeah,
All
Power of the
right,
Dog is probably the good
double
double dog
down
there.
on the dog. All right, it's a lot of D's there's a lot of D's. D's nuts. Music original song, "Be Alive" from King Richard, by Beyonce. Dos Oruguitas from Encanto by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Down to Joy from Belfast by Van Morrison. No Time to Die from No Time to Die by Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell. And Somehow You Do from Four Good Days by Diane Warren. Not familiar with that. Um, I I heard Be Alive because it was at the end of King Richard. Um, I don't remember Down to Joy at all after seeing,
Nope.
I saw like a lot of things in Belfast, no impact on me. I'm going to guess. I don't know. I'm gonna guess Encanto because people just fucking it charted. Not it wasn't the song that charted, but I'm gonna guess Encanto, and I'm gonna just go say Be Alive because it's the one of two that I heard. I guess one of two or three maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna personal pick Be Alive, and I know this sounds like a curveball, but No Time to Die.
I think that's
I could just
fine.
see
That
it.
was my other choice of prediction. I was down
It's
between.
one of those. It's one of those categories that a movie like that wins, but nothing else. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. No, I see. I feel you. I'm down with that. All right, we're at the big dog dick dog. No Red Rocket. Power of the Dog. Get it? Red Rocket.
No, I get it.
Oh, so
No, I get it.
I'm gonna read the nominees, and then I want to go to our rankings, and then we're gonna do predicts and whatnot. So the nominees are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story. So we kind of muddled through the rankings the end of last time. I haven't changed mine really. I mean, you talked me into moving up Drive My Car, and I think that is justified. I still don't think I like it better than Nightmare Alley yet. But so right now, as it stands, my top 10 is I'll start from the bottom for suspense. The people on YouTube can see it. But starting from the bottom, the worst movies easily Don't Look Up. Second is second from the bottom at number 9 is 10, right? Yeah, it's West Side Story. And nothing against West Side Story. It was a fine musical adaptation, but I didn't like it as much as any of these other ones.
Seen it, been done before.
My 8th is King Richard. No, also liked King Richard a lot. Honestly, could waver putting it higher easily, but I think that I'm putting it here. Next, I put at 7 Licorice Pizza. Licorice Pizza, there's a lot of stuff I liked about it. I probably laughed at this movie more than I laughed at any other film in the last year. So by all that, I laughed at Licorice Pizza way more than I laughed at Don't Look Up. But there's also a lot of problems and length issues and whatnot that just doesn't make it a classic for me. Then I have at number. Oh, you know what we should. You know what we should do. I'll
Hmm.
go give my bottom five, and then you give your bottom five
Oh, all right. I'm down with that.
for some suspense. All right, so then at my number 6, I have Belfast, which also, like I said, it didn't leave a huge impact on me, but there is a lot of stuff I did like. And the two things I did like were the performances from Ciarán Hinds and Judi Dench, and they're just great They are great grandparents in this film, and it just reminds you of like what you love about your grandparents and your family and whatnot, especially when your grandparents are raising you, when your mom and your dad are working and whatnot.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that I like Belfast. It kind of is the breaking point, I think, from these great movies going forward. All right, so give me your bottom five.
Our bottom five is surprisingly similar. My bottom of the barrel is Don't Look Up. I hated it. I hate it. I just didn't like it at all. I have no redeeming things to say about it. Shouldn't have been on this list. Um, I'm surprised Come On wasn't on this list, but Don't Look or that came out this year, I guess. So never mind. But
Yeah, I don't know.
shitty. Number 9, also West Side Story, only because it's not original and I've seen it. It's been done. But although I thought it was a very good version, and I think it might be aside from the lurker, I like a lot of elements of this more than the original.
All right.
Uh, my 8 is Belfast, and it's this low because I forgot a lot about the movie. I remembered it just being cute and everything, and then in looking back at these movies this week, just for this, I just didn't remember a lot from it. It didn't really have that big of an impact. The ending was muddled, but it was still really good. Like you said, like the whole reason to see the movie, I would say, is the kid's relationship with the grandparents, um, and that alone is really good. My
All right.
7 is also Licorice Pizza, mostly for the same reasons you said. It is a hilarious movie, and I definitely think it's worth a watch. It's long, and the ending is it's weird, but I'm honestly shocked that Alana didn't get nominated for anything with the performance she had.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree. I think she could have. She would have been nominated as best supporting actress. I would have probably been a personal pick.
yeah.
I don't know. A Johnu Ellis was pretty dang good. But she's definitely could hang with that crowd.
Especially, yeah, they're all like first time like big debuts, like for Ingenue as well. So it's like whose breakout rookie career was better, but it's hard to judge because they're completely different movies.
Yeah.
But
All right, moving on.
and then my 6 is Coda. This is just a fantastic, fun, quick, light movie. I felt a lot more than when watching the others. I thought it was just done really well, and I really enjoyed the concept and the characters. And it was just something. It was a nice, refreshing movie. It feel like I haven't seen. I feel like I needed a movie like that. In after not having something similar in a couple years that I can remember at least.
All right. Well, I think after this we can go. Well, we should just rapid fire, not rapid fire. But we can go back and forth. Coda was also my number 5, so not very far away. Coda, I think, was a really well made film. It's a lot of fun, but it's also like pulls at your heartstrings, and there's some
Mm.
songs and whatnot. It's a little bit stereotypical, but it's also I think it uses familiar tropes with a topic that people aren't as familiar with, and I think that's what makes it it's really effective, and it's really easy to get into. It's an easy watch, but it does feel like a Oscar Disney movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Dune.
All right.
I really like this. I thought it was very good, worth the hype, but I feel like it feels incomplete, which I know it is technically, but it didn't feel like it stood on its own as a movie. It feels like it's something that's going to be really great when the sequel comes out, but until the sequel comes out, I just like judging it as it is, it just feels it feels not finished. And I don't know. It didn't feel like enough. I just wanted more out of it, I guess. But still
Um,
very well made, and I'm very looking forward to the sequel. And I think the sequel will make this one. I will make me enjoy this so much better, being able to watch back to back.
yeah, Dune's my number 4. So I didn't have any problems with Dune really. I just thought, but that's like, I don't think I could put it any higher because it's one half of like a longer epic.
Mm,
So it's really hard to judge, and it doesn't feel as complete as like Fellowship of the Ring, as my
mm,
one critique of it. But I think that's okay that it isn't complete. But I think it also holds it back from being, a winner.
mm,
And I think that this is as far as I could take it for as much as I really enjoyed it. I've been into sci-fi and whatnot, ever since I was a kid, and I think this is very like this is like an adult's sci-fi kind of movie, with the lore and everything, and I think that's why
mm.
people gravitate towards it. The story, and I think this is the best adaptation made thus far. But all right, what is your number 4?
King Richard. I
Wow.
think I know this is really high compared to yours, but it was just so it's so exciting to watch. I so many moments where I yelled at the TV and just like shouting things because while I am aware of the Williams sisters, I have no idea about their backstory or their upbringing or anything. And so there's just a lot of being able to root for characters that, yeah, I know their end goal, but it's just so I don't know any of the trials
Yeah,
and
they're
tribulations to get.
they're like the greatest of all time, but you don't know how they get
Yes,
there, and if they
exactly.
what losses and setbacks they have along the way. That is what I also enjoyed about it, because I know them, but I don't really know their whole story, and
Mhm.
I agree. That's cool. I don't like. I think with this middle mix that I could see any combination of them. So I'm not not gonna fight you on it. It is. I didn't have it that high, but I can see that. All right. We were number 3, and I think that the it's.
Oh,
I
what
think
was
with
your number
this.
four?
Oh, my number 4 was Dune.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
My number 3 is, and I think with the top 3, obviously we agreed on them. And I think that these are 3 of the strongest, things from last year. Drive My Car is just such a unique experience, though, that it's hard to, um, suggest to everybody. Whereas I think, and I mean, honestly, Power of the Dog is hard. So many people online, I saw give bad reviews to Power of the Dog. Like, I didn't. It was boring. It was a lot of talking. I didn't know what was going on. I fell asleep. Some shit like that. And I was completely enthralled in the Power of the Dog. But
Same. I was hooked.
Drive My Car is my number 3, and I think it's because I was very challenged by it on the first time I watched it. I was kind of tired, and really wasn't in the mood to watch a super long movie. But the beginning really had me. It was the way the pace was. I think was such a knee jerk. But now I kind of that I'm away from it, kind of appreciate it. And you know me, I like to watch movies in chunks, and I guarantee you, if I watched maybe it in pieces more, like the prologue, and then maybe like the half of what's left, and like in 3 parts, I think I would really maybe get to digest it more, like almost like a anime OVA. I know we keep comparing it to that, but like there's something that's like nice about that mini series, and this is almost like that long. um
Mm.
but yeah,
That's
I don't
interesting to
know.
say.
I like Drive My Car a lot, and it's got so much going for it, and I think I just need to see it again, because it is in my head, like you said, but not. But it's not my favorite movie of the last year.
Mm.
What's your number 3?
Yeah, I get that. It's not my number three. My number three is Nightmare Alley. So I'll save my comments for my number
Yeah,
two.
sure.
But Nightmare Alley for me is number three. It was really good. It was really good. It wasn't as good as Power of the Dog, and honestly, I could trade it with Drive My Car. But every day since seeing Drive My Car, I've thought about it more and more, and have just been super just into the vibe, rewatching clips or just reading about the wiki just about productions and stuff. Just
It's
it
visually
just keeps.
beautiful, and the
I
music
know
is
it just sits in
perfect, and there's just so
my
much that
head.
is fantastic about it.
And so because of just the staying power and how much it really moved me. Even though I didn't necessarily cry during the film or feel any weight during. just afterwards, all I do is think of the moments, and look in like reflection, if that makes sense. It's
Yeah. All right, we'll
but
talk about your number 3.
Nightmare Alley. Anyways, Nightmare Alley, fantastic. This was probably my favorite, the best Del Toro movie I've ever seen. Um,
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
I really just enjoyed it. It was the right,
Wow.
nice pace, nice everything. The Pan's Labyrinth is really good. But this just had, it had your monster element. You know, you had your
I like Shape of Water
little
better.
horror. I didn't
I don't know
like it as
why you
much.
didn't connect with that movie. I
I
don't
don't know. I was
understand.
bored. So, I
I
was
don't
bored doing it.
understand it.
I know. I don't know either. But the only thing for this was just I wanted more of I wanted more Willem Dafoe's character, and I wanted more just, I guess, just impact with it all. Like I feel like I didn't you knew what you didn't know to a T what the ending was going to be with the geek thing, but like you saw where it was going at one point, and it just I don't know, I guess it just didn't stand out as much to me as the other two.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. But Nightmare Alley, I think, is my number 2. So I'll just talk about it. And I think it is the only my only uh I think it's like its length. It could be a little shorter. Like it doesn't need to be quite as long as
Mm.
it is. But other than that, I think it's pretty perfect for what it's trying to do and the story that it's trying to tell. And I really like it, and I think that it's a movie that's accessible. The story is pretty accessible and is pretty relevant to today, with how much it's about grifting and like con people. And I don't know. There's a lot I like about it, but it just did not have the impact on me that our number 1 film did. Um,
Yeah.
is there anything else you want to say about Drive My Car, Nightmare Alley before we just move on to the number 1s? I feel like we kind of both talked about both of these.
Yeah, no, I feel like I said my piece. They're just fantastic.
All
They're
right.
both. I just Drive My Car is just something else.
All right. Well, let's move on and to what was honestly my favorite film of last year, and that is The Power of the Dog from Jane Campion. We introduced to her through the podcast and the piano, which my girlfriend, it's one of her favorite movies, and boy did I really enjoy that. And I'm glad I watched it first, and then seeing this and just being blown away by the performances and how epic it is. And it's just such a unique kind of it's a western, but it's such a unique perspective and story being told with it, and it's beautiful. The music is fantastic. It's a really really good story. The twists and how it just makes you think. It is a thinking movie. And it's kind of like a mystery that you can try to solve, and I didn't solve it when it happened, and it really my jaw dropped. Don't If you haven't seen it yet, don't spoil yourself, and you really got to pay attention to the dialogue. But this is a movie that if you put in that attention span, it rewards you in dividends. And yeah, it's my favorite movie from last year, and yeah, it's a fantastic film.
Couldn't agree with you more. The I haven't watched a movie like this that just completely, like, not just mind fucked me, but just like had a complete 180 of just what I thought was going on in the movie, until the end. Like and then like diving deeper into it, whatever. Like you and I talk about it or watch a YouTube video, or whatever. Like I love like the fact that both of our initial thoughts about Benedict Cumberbatch was just like, God, his acting is fucking terrible in the beginning of the movie, and only for it to all have purpose and make sense
It was some
by
fucking
the end.
Tropic Thunder acting within acting shit.
It was so good, and it was just it was like it was a twist that in a movie that I would say you wouldn't necessarily think there'd be like that kind of a crazy twist into it, especially with the way that it's going. It almost feels like it's trying to be like this more of a like a male bonding romantic, like slight romantic story, and then it isn't.
It plays
It's
the
so wild.
tropes and a real and like
Yeah.
that. I think that's what makes it effective. The surprises is that if you're like I know how this story goes, and you don't, and I think that's what makes it good. And yeah, it really rewards someone is paying attention and asking questions, and because they get answered if you are paying attention, all of them are answered. But all right, let's go through these last few and try to wrap things up here. Um, oh yeah, we didn't give our predictions and whatnot. My personal is Power of the Dog. My prediction is Power of the Dog. I think that's pretty obvious.
I could see, based on like people I've talked to in my film community, a lot of people are rooting or thinking Drive My Car. So I would not be shocked if Drive My Car
I
wins,
would not be shocked either. I would not be shocked if Drive My Car won either.
but the Power of the Dog is my pick.
Power of the Dog's definitely my pick. Oh, I wanted to say, did you see the Jane Campion speech she gave? I don't remember if it was the BAFTAs. That she said the Williams sisters were in the crowd, and she said something like, you might be the best in the world, but you don't have to compete against men like me. And she was like laughing, because like she was trying to be lighthearted about like she has to compete with men in directing.
Yeah.
And people on Twitter just were shitting on her for that. For shit, sure, they thought it was a slight on the Williams sisters,
Yeah. I saw that, but I didn't like look into it anymore. I just saw the headline. But that's interesting. Yeah, it was meant to be taken in just like a joking thing. Or...
It's a little cringe, but I think I got what she was trying to say. It just didn't sound good.
You didn't have to deal with a Weinstein.
It was not a good soundbite. It was not a good soundbite.
Yeah.
No,
that's for sure.
It's not like white lady trying to say that white lady problems are bigger, bigger adversity than being a black woman or something. I don't know. There's some shit like that going on. But anyways, I just want to at least mention it because it happened recently, and I hope that doesn't sour, any of the accolades that Power of the Dog rightfully deserves. But all right, more quickly here. Not to belittle any of the other ones, but just because we got our big dogs out of the way. Production design, we have Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy, Macbeth, and West Side Story. I think that honestly, these are all really good nominees. And I could see any of them being picked, and I could see any of them winning. I'm gonna go with Dune because of I think that they really nailed I really do like the Dune vibe of the new one. There are things I like about the old one, sure, because it's got that lynchy weirdness. But I definitely think that the new Dune fits the modern future aesthetic that we have with the vision of what Dune is and describes in the book. So my personal pick is Dune, and I think I don't know. I think I'm gonna. Could see go in so many ways. I'm gonna go with Nightmare Alley as my prediction.
Really, really interesting. Dune, I could see. Dune. My personal pick is Tragedy of Macbeth. Once again, it is just so it's making so much with nothing.
Yeah, I really do like that one so as well. It's hard. And Power of the Dog obviously is cool.
Yeah, and honestly, I think all of these movies are objectively could win it.
I think so too. They all deserve. They're all deserving. So I'm fine with any winner. But I would.
Yeah.
Personal Dune. I could honestly see any of them winning. But I'm gonna predict Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, personal Tragic Macbeth prediction: West Side Story or Dune. But probably West Side Story.
All right, I'm gonna skip short film animated and short film live action just because I know we didn't see any of these. Sound. We have Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
This one, I will give you Dune for sure.
I'm definitely gonna say Dune and predict Dune. But I will say that Belfast's sound is like the one thing that I don't think I liked about Belfast. Is like some of the music in it and some of the sound choices sometimes were added cheese, I think, to it. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but yeah, I think West Side Story is could be picked. And I honestly don't know about No Time to Die, but Dune is my pick and prediction.
North West Side Story, so much of the sound of that movie is part of the score. So it's like
I think
I
it's
don't
yeah. You
wouldn't
end
know
up
what to
getting like it all just
differentiate.
wraps together. All right, visual
Yeah.
effects. We have Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Spider-Man: No Way Home. I have only seen Dune and Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi.
I've only seen Dune and Spider-Man.
What
And
are you
having
picking?
I'm gonna say personal pick.
Honestly, Dune's
Personal
effects aren't that good. There are some effects that are
Yeah.
good, but there are some that are bad, like putting Timothée Chalamet's face on that CG fighting guy.
Yeah, that looked really bad. Yeah, I was gonna personal pick Spider-Man No Way Home, and honestly, like most likely pick Spider-Man No Way Home. It's
I'm gonna say likely pick Spider-Man, but in personal pick Shang-Chi because it's the only one I've seen of the Dune because I think it was better than Dune.
I'm not gonna
Dune is
lie,
special effects.
I do want to see Free Guy. I heard it was actually kind of funny.
It sounds like a
Uh,
movie that you'd like for some
yeah,
reason.
not
Is
something that'd be like great or anything, just something I can like, just
dumb fun.
yes, exactly.
That is a thing, and it is okay. Dumb fun is
Yeah,
totally fine to enjoy, people.
I
I'm
love
talking to
it.
myself. We just finished Rick and Morty, so I'm having no problem with goofy, fun stuff. But all right, writing, adapted screenplay, Coda. I forgot there are some big ones we didn't do yet. A writing, adapted screenplay, Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and Power of the Dog. Honestly, I should read these too. Coda screenplay is by Sean Heder. Drive My Car screenplay by Ryusuke Hamaguchi and Takamasa Oe. Dune is screenplay by John Spates and Denis Villeneuve and Eric Roth. The Lost Daughter was written by Maggie Gyllenhaal. The Power of the Dog was also written by Jane Campion. The writing of Power of the Dog is so fucking good, but also Drive My Car might be my pick. It's down to
I
those two for me.
I'm gonna say for the sheer amount of dialogue and Drive My Car, and for me to not get bored until by bored I just mean like just worn out
Yeah.
until like the last 30 minutes or so. It's definitely my pick.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Drive My Car. No, I'm gonna pick Power of the Dog because of the twists and turns, but I'm gonna predict Drive My Car. But I think it could go either way.
Yeah, I definitely see it being one of those two for sure. I don't think it would be Dune or Coda. And I didn't see The Lost Daughter.
All right. Writing, original screenplay, and this is the last one. Belfast, written by Kenneth Branagh. Don't Look Up by Adam McKay. Story by Adam McKay and David Sirota. King Richard, written by Zach Balin. Licorice Pizza, written by Paul Thomas Anderson. The Worst Person in the World, written by Eskil Vogt and Joachim Trier.
You hear my fart?
No. Well,
Oh, I made a fart noise when you said "Don't look up."
oh. I thought you actually farted.
No. We're civilized people.
It's like
But
Jesus. Honestly, these are like, what the fuck is these nominees?
well, it's original screenplays. They're brand
Oh,
new
they're
ideas.
original. I guess it's not adapted from
Yeah,
anything.
which I respect the shit out of anything original because it's I mean, granted, it is hard to adapt something, but you get a lot of the groundwork done for it, with having a medium like it already in place somewhere. Um,
I'm gonna
I,
say, oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna
I'm torn
predict
between Belfast
Belfast.
and
I'm predicting
yeah,
Belfast.
I was torn between that and King Richard.
I think
Um,
that those are either of the choices. I agree for
mm,
prediction, but personal, I don't know if I want to pick any of these.
yeah, I mean, Licorice Pizza was
I
like
feel
it's
like
very
I want to
funny.
pick
It's
worst
written
person
so
in the
funny.
world, and I didn't see it. Because I just have issues with licorice pizzas, and the writing is a part of it. It's not like because it's not the dialogue is good. It's just the structures and everything. It's writing in the broader sense. King
Mm,
Richard is just I didn't really get blown away. The writing is not really what I would say. Is what's drawn me to the movie. It's the performances and the story,
mm.
which is a real life thing. Belfast, I don't know. I don't have anything against it, but the writing is not. I don't think the writing is really what my issues with it really. Um, but I don't know. It didn't really stand out. And Don't Look Up sucks. It wasn't funny. So it just
Yeah.
makes me want to pick personally licorice pizza, but I feel like that's wrong.
My personal is King Richard, but I could see but I think the likely is Belfast.
I'm gonna go licorice pizza and likely Belfast. All right,
Oh
that's
man,
everything.
that
We
was it.
did it. We went through it all. We hashed it out. So I'm gonna try to get this up tomorrow, and we will see. This is the first. Like the last few years, I've been pretty tuned in and able to like give a shit about the movies, but this movie this year more than ever, having the podcast and having a buddy, a partner to do this with, it'll be interesting to talk about it. Maybe we'll do a sequel bonus episode to kind of go over the results or something, maybe a little quicker, hopefully. But yeah, do you have anything you want to say or plug before we sign off?
No, no, not really. Nothing important going on my end lately. But
Uh,
very excited. I think we should definitely, at least in the if we oh no, we're recording on tomorrow. But the yeah, for next week's podcast, like the next time we record after the Oscars, it would be cool to just either throw it in there, if not a separate episode.
yeah, maybe we do. Yeah, we can do maybe another bonus episode or something, and just try to go through them quickly. But all right, you can follow us at Best Boys Film Pod. I'm at Slob Thomas. He's at Corey with a story with a K. The best things you can do to support us are follow, subscribe, and comment. Interact with us on anything. The audio podcast is on all the things. I know Apple likes that sort of stuff. And other than that, we'll see you next time. Make sure you keep watching.
Signing off. He's Poop Dog, and I'm the Piss Beast. Have a great one.
Ding 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 ding.
Reporting.